Hey, it's Matt from Hidden Machine here again, and I have an impromptu video this time around, just going off the cuff here, but yesterday I noticed that Alan Wake Remastered received a patch. There was an update patch for Alan Wake Remastered. The game came out on, I believe, October 5th of 2021, and then January 4th, 2022, it received an update patch. Now, you may have seen on our channel here, I did a first impressions, quick and dirty review of the game. I got the remaster, I pre-ordered it, played it. My experience was marred by bugs. There were a couple of game-breaking bugs that caused me to have to reset my progress and start a chapter over from the beginning because I just couldn't progress the game. And there was also another bug for me in particular that really, sullied the experience for me, which was in episode 6, when Alan is in his apartment and he watches the talk show that he appears on the TV, it didn't work. So that was really frustrating. I turned the TV on and nothing happened. And so all I could do was turn the TV off, which then triggers Alice to come in and continues the game. And that sucks. That's a very charming part of the game, and I was looking forward to experiencing it again. And, I don't mean to sound like a whiny ass baby. But it's a game that I think had a nearly perfect PC port already. So to have the remaster come out, 11 years later, well, the PC port came out in 2012, I believe, but still, to have a game that's nearly a decade old, have this remaster come out and have it be full of bugs was very frustrating, especially, someone who pre-ordered it and bought it, but I'm not the only one. So we can see here on Reddit, there was a stickied bug report thread. I'm not sure if this is still stickied, but you can find it pretty easily on the Alan Wake subreddit if you want to check it out. And so what they asked people to do was, let us know what platform you're playing on, if it's a game-breaking bug or not, and we're defining game-breaking bug as, does it halt your progress? Can you not complete this section of the game due to a bug? And description of how it happened. And so, going back, a lot of, bugs like this, textures not working. There was a lot of issues with the lighting. Objects appeared to be glowing and flickering. I experienced a lot of that. There was some issues with the sensitivity. Game-breaking bugs. There were progress-breaking bugs. Several of them. I experienced one. Oh, here's my comment here. I was, exploring downtown Bright Falls on episode 5. That's where you're hanging out with Sheriff Sarah Breaker and going through, downtown Bright Falls. She got stuck into a wall, and then I tried to restart, and she respawned in another place, running in place. Looks like I even uploaded some screenshots, and you can see here, she's stuck there, and then when she respawned, she was walking in place in a corner here in a wall. That was frustrating. The mill in episode 2, where there's a elevator that you need to go up. This is all very specific stuff, but this is another game-breaking bug that a lot of people faced. And it's frustrating. It's very frustrating. I don't mean to nitpick this game to death. Any game that's gonna come out is gonna have bugs. You can find bugs in literally any game. It just happens. That's what happens when you put code together and then you send it out for people to mess with. But you can play the 2012 PC port of this game and it's nearly flawless. It's very frustrating to have this, remaster come out and it contains new game-breaking bugs that weren't in the original. It's not an improvement. And maybe I'm also, feeling extra sour because, a similar thing happened with the GTA Definitive Edition. That comes out, the remaster. I remember hearing similar things about the Mafia remasters. It's not a trend I want to see. Classic games getting remastered poorly and, being full of bugs. Now, visually speaking, Alan Wake Remastered looks great. I love the changes. I think everything looks awesome. I think the original also really holds up and looks awesome as well. Even side by side, they both look good. I can't really, pick one over the other. That said, a lot of people did experience no bugs at all, and that's good for them. So I don't want to act like this game was, so busted that no one could enjoy it. It wasn't a, it wasn't like a Cyberpunk situation where all the, console players were just fucked. You know what I mean? That's not what happened. However, lots of bugs. Waited 3 months for a patch, and so we can see here the patch notes. This is a little confusing, but if you go to the latest announcements, Alan Wake Remastered update release notes. So for some reason, this post is dated December 20th, 2021, even though the patch did launch yesterday, January 4th. Kind of confused, but let's go over the patch notes. So PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X all had different patches. They don't have a version number here for the PC port, which I think is kind of odd. But performance-wise, improved title stability. So that's, I'm sure that's just overall stability on all platforms. Progression, fixed the glitch in episode 2 where players could not complete the reach the top of the mill objective. Oh, I think their quotation marks are upside down here for some reason. Due to the lift clipping through the stairs. That's important. That sucks. To be that early in the game and then face a game-breaking bug, especially if you're like a player who's new to the series. Sound, fixed the audio lag that was present in some cinematics on Xbox One, and fixed the rare issue where cinematics audio would play in mono. There was also an issue that I saw the composer of the game mention, that the audio in the cinematics, not just the the dialogue, but the music as well was playing in mono, I think. So, I'm glad that got addressed. The visuals, they added HDR support to Xbox Series X and S. I did see someone say that they didn't find that. I'm not sure if that person has the patch installed or not. I want to look deeper into that. Mitigated screen tearing on Xbox One. General visual performance fixes. And then the UI, they improved the resolution of the game icon on PC. It's prettier now. The game icon, I'm assuming that is the, is that just literally the icon? Yeah. We can look here. Let's just go right to my display here in the video. You can see the icon here for Alan Wake Remastered. Cool. That looks good, I guess. That's not really... That wasn't really a big issue for me, but cool. So that's the patch notes. Glad the game got a much needed update. Seems like some of the bugs were addressed. A lot of the bugs that I saw reported were not addressed in this. But the reason I found out about this update at all is because PlayStation 5 users have been reporting that dialogue no longer plays in the game, I think specifically in the cutscenes. So you can see here on Reddit, cannot hear dialogue in PS5 Remaster. I can hear a very faint echoey voice and all settings are high. What's going on? The latest update ruined cutscene voice volume. All the voices are silent now, but other sounds can be heard. I don't have the remasters, this wild guess. Go to check your sound settings. No. A lot of people saying after the patch on my PS5, I can't hear dialogue in cutscenes. So if you go into the game files for Alan Wake, and I think Alan Wake Remastered, they're BINC files. They're the BINC video files. And I know that on Alan Wake Remastered, Alan Wake, I think Alan Wake's American Nightmare as well, and even in Control, I believe the BINC video files are stored in one place and the dialogue is fed in from another source. I think that has to do with localization and different translations of the cutscenes, so they can pipe in the localized audio when they need to. So I'm guessing what's happening here is that whatever they did to try to fix, you know, audio coming in mono during the cutscenes, for some people probably is circumventing the audio from piping into those videos, because the cutscene videos themselves, if you pull them out of the game files and play them, they have no dialogue. You know, they do have other sound effects. So somebody found 2 temporary fixes. HDMI device type AV amplifier, go to settings, 2-channel. Second way is using headphones with controller or headphones via USB. USB-C speakers seem to work. I don't even understand what they're saying here, but it's nice that some users are trying to reach out and help other people. So I thought, you know, this kind of sucks, seeing this happen. What's going over on Twitter? You know, on the announcement, the glitch problem persists with the patch that should have fixed it, PS5. So here we see the aircraft puzzle doesn't work. I can't reach the flare box on the other side. I also had that issue, and I thought I was remembering the aircraft puzzle wrong. That was a strange one for me, and I went back and played the original and noticed, no, that was another weird bug that still hasn't been fixed. So you can see the lift is still clipping through the stairs, and they are on the, let's see, 1.00004. Yep, so they are on the latest version there, as you can see. This update kind of broke the sound, all the cutscenes in the game. Now it sounds like each cutscene is being choked through a pillow. Playing on PS5, had no such issues before update. I play on PS5, and all cutscenes are heard except for any speech. An update to make the game worse, the voice in the cutscenes are stuffy. People are also wondering why HDR support is not on other platforms. That's very frustrating, and so I have to wonder what's going on. The other thing I want to mention here that I was surprised didn't get fixed is if we go into, and I captured some game footage here. Now, if you look at the diner scene, the park ranger, Rusty, his idle animation's broken. So you can see, it's so strange. I'm gonna play it again here. He just warps into his idle animation in a very strange way. You can see almost like he's being vacuum sealed, you know? This is so weird. And and then he holds that, and he's just completely frozen. Now he does look around a little bit, which is part of the idle animation in the original game, and then he vacuum seals back into position. Very weird, very weird. Now if we go, I captured that same scene in the original, and you can see as he's reading the paper, his fingers move, his shoulders move, his head moves, he breathes. You know, he's like a living person. He's going to be moving around just a tad as he's reading the paper. Again, not trying to nitpick this to death. I don't want to sound like I'm ingrateful or like, you know, fucking, you know, Remedy, blah, 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 blah. It's not what I'm trying to do. It's just, I want to talk about it because I'm frustrated, and I'm hoping that, you know, maybe someone will hear me and they will go, hey, scene, we're gonna do another update patch. We are recognizing that these issues are here. We're recognizing that our latest update actually broke audio for some users. You know, and it's only been a day. It's only been a fucking day. So, you know, we'll see what comes of it. But it is frustrating to wait 3 months for this patch and then have it, you know, not address all of the things and then also break some new things. It's not a good look. It's very frustrating because I do just want it to be good. You know, I'm really glad that the game came out on the PlayStation consoles because, you know, PlayStation users couldn't play this game before. And with Alan Wake 2 coming out next year, you know, it's cool to get people caught up on the game, which I think is why they did this. So the other thing I want to bring up here, and we're gonna get into the speculation part of this video. It was March 26th, 2020 that the deal with Epic was announced. And so they announced they're going to do one AAA multi-platform game that's already in production, pre-production. And the second was a new, smaller scale project set in the same franchise. Both games are being developed on Remedy's proprietary state-of-the-art Northlight game engine tool. So we later found out in September of 2021, so, a year, about a year and a half later, that was going to be Alan Wake Remastered, was the smaller project. And then, even here suspecting on IGN, Alan Wake 2 is probably the other big game that they signed to do with Epic. And we know that to be true now after the announcement at the 2021 Game Awards. I don't know if this was rushed, because it seems like they had, over a year to work on it. And I know that they didn't actually, they're using the same game engine. They just built on the skeleton. I know some things they had to do. I believe they had to do some of the cinematics from scratch. They redid a lot of the textures and stuff, and they redid the character models. Like, I'm not saying they didn't have work to do, but I know they did have a lot of it done. And there is, I think, some interviews available with the people who worked on this directly. I think it was, largely handled by D3T, who most recently, I believe, worked on the new Guardians of the Galaxy game. They've done some work. They also do some like mobile stuff and some other apps and things. And so basically they're a co-production studio. So if you need someone to work on, finishing a project with you, you can kind of hire them, outsource parts of your development. And that's a common practice. Nitro Games handled the original PC port of the original Alan Wake. And so it's not like an uncommon practice to outsource these things to smaller, finishing studios or co-production studios. But I do wonder, like, what happened here that would cause, such a buggy remaster to come out of a game whose, PC port holds up really well. The console ports, also hold up, as I think, as well as any other, high-end console game from that time. But the PC port especially, it looks awesome. It plays awesome. So, I'm wondering if it was, maybe a bit rushed to meet like a marketing milestone, to have that remaster out X number of months ahead of the Alan Wake 2 announcement. It's possible. Also, if D3T is, I think they're in England, Remedy's in Finland, and then everybody's working remotely anyway. Well, you have the 2 remote offices anyway, but then within those offices, if they're working remotely, I could see there being, new issues and just, watching different interviews. I think Super Bunny Hop just did a video talking about, changes that we saw in 2021, and he interviewed a few devs, talking about what was it like to work remotely and, what did you gain, what did you lose? And, communication definitely changed. And I think that certain things kind of get lost when you're not actually able to speak to everyone face to face, or if you can't like overhear conversations and, have these like, spontaneous things, or, oh, that reminds me, everyone, should know about this or that. And, I'm getting at, it's the kind of thing that happens when you're talking to people in person rather than, working over remote communication through Zoom or through, Slack or whatever it is they use. So my guess is, probably maybe timeline issues, but also I'm betting that, taking this project on and then getting slammed by the pandemic is likely. And again, I'm assuming, I'm just speculating here. I'm assuming that has something to do with why it, came out the way it did. But I'm curious, what do you think? Did you pick up Alan Wake Remastered? Have you played the original Alan Wake? Are you excited for Alan Wake 2? If you did play Alan Wake Remastered, what was your experience? Did you have bugs? I had a bunch of bugs that I would say it soured the experience for me enough that I can't recommend it over the original version, especially if you get it on Steam. It comes with a bunch of videos. It comes with a, making of documentary. It comes with 2 digital comic books. It comes with the screenplay for the game. It comes with the score. It comes with the soundtrack. And the GOG version of the game comes with other bonus files. It has, high-res versions of the Night Springs videos and the Writers in the Cabin videos. And so it's like, the remaster didn't come with any of the bonus materials. Frustrating, especially because the original port also came with the Alan Wake files, which I think is, if you're someone who's into Alan Wake and the lore, you get to actually read things like some of Alan's early writing. You get to hear more about what happened to characters like Nightingale. You get to read a copy of The Creator's Dilemma. That's the book that Emil Hartman wrote. You know, that's an incredible piece of like world building lore that seems crazy to me that it wouldn't just be in the game files for the remaster, because why not? It comes with the Steam version of the original game. So, you know, all that said, it's hard for me to endorse the remaster. I think if you're playing on console, especially if you've never been able to play it before, go for it. It's a great game. Unfortunately, you know, endorsing it, you know, for PS5 users, now this bug is breaking the game again in a new way. And maybe in some games you can get away with having no dialogue in the cutscenes, but this is a narrative-driven experience where I'd say the dialogue in the cutscenes is one of the you know, most crucial parts of the experience. So, not trying to shit on anybody here. I know it's not easy to do. I have sympathy for the situation, but also it's like, hey, I bought the thing and I'm not happy with my purchase. Not to be a cranky fuck, you know what I mean? I'm hoping I'm not coming off as you know, overly entitled. It's just, I'm just trying to talk about it. You know, it's a weird situation to be in where you have like so much adoration and respect for a developer, but also you're like, I don't feel good about that thing you just did, and I gotta express it in some way, but please don't take it as a sign of disrespect. Does that make sense? Anyway, let me know what you think. I've talked for too long about this, and I should go to bed. See ya.